As I predicted, man, I told y'all Georgia was gonna come out on top against Ole Miss. Sad reality, but it is what it is. Gunnar Stockton absolutely lit them boys up. We're gonna talk about his performance, but first, QB1, QB1. Now look, man, Chalmers didn't have the game that he was supposed to have. First half, man, was balling. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He was cooking that Georgia defense, man. But they ended up figuring him out. It's a sad reality, but they did. They made it tough for him. Credit to Glenn Schumann and Coach Kirby Smart, the adjustments, man. Second half in the fourth quarter, at one point, they only had 1 yard. 1 yard. Consecutive 3-and-outs, and the defense was flying to the ball, was getting pressure on him, was speeding him up. And you've seen a little bit of the inaccuracy when he was throwing the football. Do I still think he should be the man for the job? For sure. I mean, Ole Miss is going to be, 6-1? They still have everything ahead of them. It was a top 5 team coming into this game, right? I don't think that changes too much. They shouldn't find themselves too much outside of the top 10, even after this loss to, obviously, Georgia. You have everything in front of you. You should be able to handle business and do what you need to do and do what you're supposed to do. When it comes down to Ole Miss and the reason they lost the game, they didn't get enough from the ground game. Only 88 yards in this game, right? Now, Chalmers was efficient in the red zone when running the football, did what he was supposed to do, getting yards. Kewan Lacey tried, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. But it's just not enough from the running game. And it really affects you and it allows you to defenders to pin their ears back. Now, like I said, they took advantage. They got the playmakers, to do damage against Georgia, right? Deshaun's dribbling, Hilton Deuce Alexander had a pretty good game. You got the players in order to do so and do damage. I just think they made it tougher. They probably need to hit guys like, Caleb Odom, some of their tight ends, in order to kind of help them later on in the game when it was those second and longs or third and longs, just to be able to throw like a shallow cross, a dig, something quick and easy for them to get them back in rhythm. I felt like Ole Miss struggled to do that in this game. And that's where their struggles was offensively. But when your team put up 35 points, you should win the game. But to be real with you, man, defense got cooked. Really, no defense really got stops in this one but Georgia. Georgia didn't get it into the fourth quarter, though. But both offenses in this game was cooking. Ole Miss, you had 350 yards, a total offense, but your defense played terrible. 510 total yards offense. They didn't have an answer any part of the day for Gunnar Stockton. And credit to him, man. That one play he made on 2 defenders, making a miss, and being able to get a first down. Like, that dude, Georgia really got a quarterback. I hate to say it, but Georgia really got a quarterback that's a dog. That's that dude, and he compliments them in the run game. And speaking of Georgia, let's go ahead and give credit and praise, man. I mean, well-balanced attack, as they always are. Under Kirby Smart, they're going to run the football, and that's what they did. They stick with it, right? It wasn't the best average for Nate Frazier, 4.2 yards per carry, 72 yards on 17 carries, but they stick with it, man. They used Chauncey Bowens as well, who was better, 6.1 yards per carry. But when you got a quarterback that can do this, 5.9 yards per carry, and a touchdown, and he can keep plays alive. Like that one play was like third and long, didn't see nothing, waited, and then moved around and went and scrambled. Georgia hasn't had that in a long time. I mean, they've had Beck and everything like that, but he's not the type of runner that Gunnar Stockton is, man. And he don't turn over the football. Like, bro was 26-31, 289 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he spreads the ball around. Like, and I love that he uses all his teammates, right? He's not fixated on one receiver. He's not fixated on one player. He's going to find the open man all day long. And, like I said, he's a special player for him. I think he's better than Beck. I think he's better than the quarterback they had the last few years. And he's going to put them in a position to win. And bottom line is, Georgia's just resilient. Like, you may think you up and you got them down and out. They just found ways to come back and win. And they've done it time and time again. And they're used to it as a program. It never looks good. It never looks pretty. I know some people want it to be a straight whooping, a butt whooping, but this team always finds a way to come out and win. And you got to give them the credit and praise. You know what I'm saying? They do that, and the offense balled out. Can't put up a better performance than 510 yards of total offense. You know what I'm saying? And all them touchdowns they had. Last person I want to shout out for Georgia, man, Lawson Lucky, man, ball in this game, had 3 touchdowns. It ain't going to be the most gaudy with the performance in terms of the yards, 5 catches, I think 43 yards. But whenever they needed him, they needed a play, they needed a spark. He came up big time every single time for them and absolutely balled out. So I was impressed with his performance today. I think he's going to be a player you got to pay attention to, moving forward. And the crazy part, they have so many tight ends. Like, it ain't just Lawson Lucky. They got Oscar Delp. They got Elias Williams. Like, they got guys over the field that can fill that mode that they can use. And it's crazy because Lawson Lucky didn't even have a good game up until this point. And today absolutely goes off. So, credit Georgia. Credit the adjustment by Kirby Smart in the second half to make it tough. Pressure on the quarterback. And how fitting is it that a former player here in the state of Georgia, Joshua Horton, when he made a lot of his payback with Langston Hughes, obviously went to Miami, transfers to UGA, gets the PBU at the end of the game to effectively end it. how fitting is that for Georgia? A lot of players formerly here in the state of or in the state of Georgia from high school ranks stepping up big for this Bulldogs program. So yeah, man, big win for Georgia. 6-1 in a year and continue to trek forward. I think they'll be probably in the top 5 after this win. And they're a team that continues to find ways to win, man. I told you, I got them slipping up against Texas. I knew Ole Miss, like, they just never win the big game. I like QB1, one of my, probably favorite players to watch. I know they had the best completion percentage. They made it tough for him at the end of the game, but Ole Miss got some stuff about them, but they got to get the defense figured out. Besides Suntarine Perkins, who else do they have that don't get cooked? You know what I'm saying? So Ole Miss got to figure that out, and they have to finally win a big game. There'll be more shots, more tests, obviously, later on this year, but got to find a way to win these type of big games against, Kirby Smart and several others, man. But we'll see what happens moving forward, man. But big win for Georgia.